Hi everyone, I'm JT Pilot and today we'll be making another video. This time we'll be doing Massive Unboxing 6. And yes, this is the long-awaited Massive Unboxing. This is for December of 2022, consisting of the brand new NG Models November releases, and one delayed NG October release and one Aviation400 models. So yes, all these models did come from West Coast Diecast, so if you'd like to purchase from them, I recommend using my code JTPilot for 5% off your order, and the link for the store will be in the description below. So, yes, today's massive unboxing is on the cusp of Christmas, so I like to say Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrates Christmas. Like, Christmas is coming up a few days after this video, so there may be a special video for Christmas coming up, so just stay tuned. So, yeah, Merry Christmas to all of you, and Happy Holidays. So, anyway, so today we'll be unboxing these 6 models right here. So 2 of these models are duplicate models, in case you couldn't tell that there's 2 duplicate models. Yeah, so this massive unboxing will be a little bit more sped up compared to the previous ones. The massive unboxings are intended just to show overviews of models and not provide a really in-depth review. I will provide reviews for them, but not as in-depth as if I were to do a individual review. I know a lot of you requested some faster paced videos, so that's what we'll be doing today, while keeping the quality and making the videos just a little bit have more higher quality instead of me just rambling on about various topics. So anyway, so we'll be starting with the very first model, and yes, we'll be starting with the box of the model, then we'll proceed on to the in-depth review. So now let's start. Alright, so starting with the very first model. So in case I haven't mentioned it, all these models did come intact, so that's a Christmas miracle on its own. I just gotta say, QC's perfect for this batch of models. Nothing's broken, nothing's loose. The models appear to be in good condition. That is just great news indeed, right? It's just sad I have to say that, but anyways, so start with the first model. So this is their sole NG October release in this video. This model was delayed. My other NG October releases did arrive broken, so that's why those aren't featured in this massive unboxing. They should be fixed in the future, so yes, I did not get replacements for those yet either, so we'll have to see. So yes, but anyway, so start with the 10C1 box. So this model is a beauty, that's all I gotta say. But start with the box, so we got the Boeing 747 tiles on the top left, Southwest logo right there. And this box encompasses the state of Tennessee flag. So yes, we got the Tennessee flag right there, all the free stars right there, looking fun, amazing. I love how that box incorporates that. And we got a computer image of Tennessee 1. So Southwest has repainted their Tennessee 1 livery and their Illinois 1 livery onto 747-800s. I really like the look of Tennessee 1 on the 747-800. I know a lot of people don't really like it, but I do. May or may not be because I'm a diehard Southwest collector, but the model is just beautiful, so yeah. And on the bottom box, we got Tennessee 1. We have the Tennessee 1 towels on the bottom right, NG Models logo. Then we got the registration, which is number 8620 Hotel, and the officially Boeing licensed product. So this is one of Southwest's older 747-800s. I believe this was a 2013, 2014 built 747-800. So yeah, and this wasn't a Candy Blue livery before it was repainted to Tennessee 1 livery. So we got the bottom of the box, right side of the box, top of the box, in the left side of the box. And on the top left, we got the NG Models logo right there, computer image for the aircraft. And the bottom left of the box, we got the NG Models social medias right there. I highly recommend to follow them. And we got the I number for this model, which is 58157, barcode, more labels, and the Tennessee 1 towels right there. So that's it for the box. Now let's proceed on to the model itself. Alright, so proceeding on to the model itself. This is just a beautiful model. That's all I gotta say. Really love this model. I did take some outdoor models photos of this model, and they are just beautiful. Highly recommend to check out my Instagram, which link for that will also be in the description below. It looks really beautiful in golden hour light, and yeah, it's no exception here in the studio. So yes, it looks great in this lighting, but even better in golden hour lighting. So highly recommend to check out that post. May include some picture outdoor model photos of this model later on this video, perhaps. So yeah, and this model did score very high with my JT score. So yeah, so proceeding on to the model stuff. So starting with the front of the model here, we have the nose cone right there, looking amazing. So that's on your left of your screen. We got some PU2s right there, Tennessee 1 logo right there, the cockpit windows right there, perfect shape and everything. I really love NG Models 747 mold, arguably the best 747 mold in 1400. We got the nose gear door right there, looking amazing. We got the nose gear, which unlike some of the other NG 747-800 releases recently, is actually properly aligned. We got the L1 door right there, heart logo right there. We got the Tennessee state flag right there, and the red. So we got the three stars in the blue and white circle. So there's the Tennessee flag right there. So looking great, and the rest of the fuselage is just a red shade, which perfectly represents the Tennessee state flag. So there you go. And then the red, yeah, and the colors are perfect. Well, very vibrant. That's all I gotta say. Just great effort by NG. So we got the passenger emergency escape windows right there. we got the split skimmer winglets. The split skimmer winglets, the bottom portion's a little too long and it kind of goes out a little bit more. I'll show you that a little bit more in depth, but that's kind of unfortunate. But other than that, the split skimmer shape is pretty good. That's all I gotta say. Here we got the CFM56 engine looking great right there. That's perfect detailing. And then proceeding onto the back portion of the left side of the aircraft, we have the registration, which is our 8620 Hotel. L2 door. Then we got the beautiful Southwest hardtail, looking flat out amazing. So I'm going to give you some shots of the left side of this model. Then we're proceeding onto the back portion of this model. So here we have the back portion of this model, looking great right here. And I just want to mention one quick thing right here. So here is the split skimmer winglet, and yes, if you can notice that the bottom portion of this wing extends a little too far out. It's hard to notice, my camera won't focus, but it does extend a little too much out, so that's pretty unfortunate. But other than that, the back portion of this aircraft is looking great with the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers looking great, as well as the APU exhaust. Alright, so moving on to the front portion of this model. So the box is a little bit slanted, so just ignore that, the wing. So the front portion is looking great. That's all I gotta say. The nose is perfectly... The nose is perfect. The cockpit windows aren't misaligned or anything like on some other models. Some models, they slant to the left or right, but not on this model, so that's great to see. And yeah, the front portion of this model is looking great. Proceeding on to the top portion of this model, so we got the top of the nose right there. We got the top of the 1060 flag right there. And we got an overview view of the wings right here. Here we got the emergency escape hatch looking great. Lots of detail on this model. We got an antenna right there. We got a Wi-Fi box there. And we got the top of the tail all looking great. Alright, so proceeding on to the right side of this model. So we got the R2 door right here. We got an antenna on the bottom. And then we got two more antennas on the bottom looking great. And then we got the wing landing gear right there. We got the R2 door right here. And then we got some baggage holes. So we do have a baggage hole right there. It's hard to see it, but there is a baggage hole right there. And there's another baggage hole a little bit above the bottom antenna right there. So, yeah. So I'm going to give some final shots of this beautiful model. Definitely one of my favorite NG models of this year. Definitely my top 10 of favorite models from the year 2022. What a beautiful model. So, yeah, so I'm going to get some final shots of the right side of this model. Then we'll be proceeding on to the conclusion for this model. Alright, so proceeding to the conclusion for this model. So this engine model is just flat out amazing. All I gotta say. Highly recommend the purchase it. Beware this model may have some QC issues depending on where you buy it from. This model did not come broken, which is great. Haven't seen too many QC issues this time around with the engine model's releases. I saw one issue with the salvage key and bluestone for example, which will be up next. But other than that, really haven't seen any massive QC issues with this release, so that's pretty good. Hopefully NG's QC is improving. You never really know about. So, yes, but this model, so I did score my JT score, which consists of 10 categories and then with an additional category of QC where I remove points if a model comes broken. So I did change my JT score recently, like I explained in my previous review, just to make it more let's make it more easier. What's the best word to say? This makes it more easier to comprehend. So I know a lot of people are confused about it, so it's now more simpler. And so if you want to see the full JT score of this model, highly recommend check out my Instagram account where there's already a review for this model posted there with the JT score. So yes, I just want to save on time with this video because I know a lot of you really don't care about the JT score portion of this video, and a lot of you just care about just looking at the models themselves to determine if you want to buy this model. So yeah. But anyways, so the JT score for this model did receive, drumroll please, a 99%. So that's really great to see. Yes, no points were removed for QC either, and the only point I did remove for this model was the split skimmer being a little too large. So that's got to be improved. It's not as bad as the Gemini version, but it's still not too good on the NG version. They really have to fix that. It's not realistic at all. So it's realistic, but it's I don't know. It's not my cup of tea at least. So yes, so this model's great, beautiful livery. Yeah, lots of vibrant colors on this model. So NG really killed on this model. In the mold's great. Gemini just has this as a future release. Get the NG version. It's going to be way better. It's all I got to say. So anyways, that's it for this model. Let's move on to our next model. Alrighty, moving on to our next model. So we'll be moving on to the NG model's November releases, which are some great releases here. And yes, we got some great models from that release set, including the NG model Southwest Airlines Boeing 700 in the cane blue livery with the blended winglets. I did receive 2 of these models just because I do have a special story to this model, which I'll mention just a little bit. Yeah, I'll just mention it quickly now. So, yeah, so my first ever flight, which did happened, which did happen years ago, was on a Southwest Boeing 747-700, and he came to deliver the blended winglets. So keep in mind, I wasn't too interested in aviation then, but this is kind of the flight that sparked my aviation passion. So so I did partake on this flight. This was a flight from Norfolk International Airport in Virginia to Orlando International Airport, and we are going on a little vacation out to Orlando. And so this was my first ever flight. What made this flight really interesting was this flight had a 4-hour delay. So that's my first ever flight had a 4-hour delay. So we had an equipment swap. So we had the first stop was KLUV 700, which taxied out to the runway, and then returned back to the terminal just because there was a hydraulic issue, if I remember. So that was a pretty massive issue. So they had to take the aircraft back. Then we sat in Norfolk for about 3 to 4 hours, and then a replacement aircraft is arriving from Baltimore, and we got on that aircraft, and we just made our merry way over to Orlando. So yes, my first ever flight was a delayed flight, but it was on Southwest, and yes, it was a special trip. That's all I gotta say. And yes, that was a special trip because there's still and there's still some special aircraft over Orlando then, because you still have the Virgin Atlantic 747s and all that kind of stuff. I remember seeing all that, so that was a really fun trip. So I just wanted to mention that before I review this model for you guys. So so sorry about the little ramble there, but I really want to tell my story. That's just a brief version of the story. So so here we got the beautiful box. So this box looks almost identical to the previous NG KLUV 747 release with the split skimmer winglets, but this is their first release with the blending winglets. The last time there was a blending winglet 747 that was released was with the Gemini 2014, which I do also have. This model is way superior than that one. So the bowl's better, and yes, overall delivery is better as well. So sorry about the little ramble, and I did purchase 2 of these models just because it was the first aircraft I've ever flown before, so it's kind of special to me. I normally don't buy duplicate models, but I made an exception to this. So on the top of the box, we get the Boeing 747 titles, and the box does encompass the Southwest King blue tail perfectly. We got the blue stripe, the red stripe, and the orange stripe, all looking perfect. So kind of does look like a Southwest King blue tail on the box. So really great effort by NG. So we got a computer image with the aircraft right there. Then on the bottom left of the box, we get the registration, which is number 957 Whiskey November. So this aircraft is now in the Harley, and it has split skimmer winglets. Really wish NG would have chosen a different aircraft to do. There's a lot out there I could, I would rather see NG make. So there's some better choices, but it's still a great model though. So the registration doesn't bother me too much. So bottom left of the box, we get the registration. Once again, we got the official Boeing license product right there, and the engine logo on the bottom right. So moving on to the bottom of the box, we got the bottom of the box, right side of the box, the left side of the box, and then, top of the box, sorry, then we got the left side of the box, and then we got the bottom of the box. Then moving on to the back of the box, we got the NG logo on the top left, computer image of the aircraft right here, and on the bottom of the box, we got the NG social media once again, officially Boeing licensed product, and the 9 number, which is 77023, and we have warning labels right here. So there is plans in the future for NG to do a re-release of this model. A re-release of the previous release with the split skimmer wings, which will be November 251 Whiskey November. Pan Fox Toys did leak that was supposed to be in the NG November releases, which I would have purchased that model as well. But NG was like, we're going to delay it. So so that's it for this box this model. Sorry about that being a little long, and let's move on to the model itself. And alright, proceeding on to the model itself. What a beauty. That's all I gotta say. I love the KLUV livery, and it is perfect on this 747. It's just iconic to me, and very sentimental to me as well. So what a beautiful model. That's just beautiful. I'm so glad NG has released this out. I've been hoping for NG models to release this for such a long time, and they finally did. That's why I bought 2 of them as well. This is a beautiful model. This would be perfect for South Snowfield and Jacksonville. So yes. So anyway, so let's start off with the in-depth analysis of this model. So starting off the front of the model. So starting with the front of the model, we got the nose cone right there. We got the cockpit windows right there, all looking perfect, great shape and everything. This is the same exact mold that's used on the that was used on the Tennessee 1 livery 747 Stranger, but this is just the 747-700, which is slightly shorter. So yes, some of the mold characteristics are similar in case you're new to NG models. So you got the nose landing gear door right there, and it has 957 on it, representing the fleet number. And then we got the L1 door right there. We got PU2 below the cockpit windows right there. So we got L1 door right there, and then we got some passenger windows right there. Then we got the red belly swoop right there. We got the emergency escape door right there, and then we got the blended winglet, which is looking flat amazing. That is really beautiful, really well detailed, and it's perfect job by NG. Really great job. Then we got the CFM56 engine right there, perfect shape and looking great as well. I have seen some people that have gotten their CFM56 engine a little bit more interesting with the inside turning blue for some reason. So yeah, both of mine turned out. Both of my King Blue 747s turned out perfectly. No QC issues on either of them. So just wanted to mention that if you're interested in buying this model. Then moving on to the back portion of this model, so we got the registration, which is number 957 Whiskey November. We got L2 door, United States flag, and the beautiful King Blue tail. This is iconic right there. Just a beautiful tail right there. Then we got the Wi-Fi box up there, and we got our sole antenna on the top portion of this aircraft. And we got our bottom antenna, then we got our first bottom antenna, and we got our second two bottom antennas on the bottom. So we get some final shots of the left side of this aircraft, and then we're proceeding onto the back portion of this aircraft. Just beautiful, model. It's just beautiful. All I gotta say. Alright, so proceeding onto the back portion of this model. So you can see the horizontal stabilizer, vertical stabilizer, and the APU exhaust. All those are looking perfectly. So that's in the center of your screen. And on either side of your screen, you can see the blended winglets. Those are perfect, great shape and everything. And yeah, you got the back portion of the wing right there with all the ailerons and all that kind of thing. So yeah. All right, so proceeding on to the front portion as well. So here we got the front view of the nose and the inside of the CFM56 engine. All this is looking perfect. So I'm gonna give you a better shot there. Sorry about the camera being fuzzy here. It just this camera loves the decide not to focus. This loves to not focus at random times. So sorry about that. But there is the front portion of this model looking great. That's all I gotta say. And yes, the cockpit windows are perfectly aligned because there's several models where they're not, like I just previously mentioned earlier in this video. So yeah, glad they're aligned this way, and you can see the landing lights as well. All right, moving on to the top portion as well. So here we got the top portion of this model. So you can see the overview portion of the wing right there. So you can see emergency escape path. So on the King Blue 700s, the emergency escape path looks like this. So that's a pretty interesting observation there. Just has one arrow instead of multiple arrows like on the other 747s that are over at Southwest Airlines, like the hard 747 So that's pretty interesting. I did note that, so that's pretty interesting. So yeah, the details on the wing are impressive. So great efforts by NG. So on both wings, the details are impressive. You get an antenna right there, a Wi-Fi box, and the top portion of the tail. All right, so proceeding to the right side of this model. What a beautiful model once again. So same other side of our view, but this time it has the R1 door right here. Then we got the bottom side antenna right there with the baggage hole. We got another baggage hole towards the back below the registration and the R2 door. So yeah, I'm gonna get some final shots of this beautiful model. Then I'll be proceeding on to the conclusion and score for this model. So that is it for the review for the King Blue 747. What a beautiful model here. So here's both of them together. And yes, NG models did a really killer job with both these models. Just flat out beautiful models. So glad to have two of them. They're going to be really beautiful for Southwest Lifted. I will be using these models in the future for some other projects as well. And including maybe some retro airport dates. We'll have to see what I can use these models for, but they're just beautiful. That's all I gotta say. So for the JT score for these models, drumroll please. They have received 100%. Yes, they got a 10 out of 10 on every single category and no points from me for QC. Great effort, NG. This is the first model in a long time. These two are the first models in a long time from NG I've given perfect scores to. Yes, yes, because these models really didn't have any QC issues, so that's really great to see. So great job, NG. And it's hope to see this quality persist in the near future. Really great effort, and yeah, so yes, highly recommend to purchase these models. You will not regret your purchase. The only reason you may not want to purchase models is just because of the registration. If you're worried about registrations, worried about specific registrations not being realistic for a certain time period, like today with this model being the Harley and having Swiss Skimmers, I would stray away from this model. But if you don't really care about the registration and you just want a King Blue 700 with blading, let's just go for this model. You would really enjoy this model, and yeah. So that's it for this model. Now let's proceed on to our next NG November release. All right, so moving on to our next NG November release, which is the American Airlines Boeing 747-800. So yes, this is their second release of the new livery American 747 with the normal winglets, no wing logos or anything, just a normal standard American 747. And I really love this model as well. It's a really great model. It turned out really well, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. Great effort, NG. So yeah, it's been looking forward to another American 747 to replace my inferior Gemini version with a crooked landing gear. And yeah, so I just want to have two standard American Safari centers, which I now do, that are from NG. So I have the winglet logo version and the regular gray winglet version. I really want to have two of them just because American has over 300 of these in their fleet, and it's very common to see at airports, common to see at U.S. airports that have two American Safari center changes there at once, just because the Americans use these aircraft on all sorts of routes. So that's why I bought another one, and yes, it's a different registration too, so might as well have another one. So yeah, so here we have the box response. So pretty interesting box design by NG. Yeah, so they try to go with the American tail, but there's no blue portion of the tail. Just the red shades and some some white and gray shades. So pretty interesting box choice. I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, so. And yes, I did buy this model along with the American 787-8, which I'm extremely excited to review from NG, but that model got delayed, so we'll have to see if that model will arrive in the next batch releases, just hopefully. So yeah, so on top of this model, we got the Boeing 747 tiles right there, top of the box, sorry. In the center of the box, we have the computer image of this beautiful 737. Then on the bottom left of the box, we got the American Airlines logo, registration, and the officially Boeing licensed product. And you got the Engine Models logo on the bottom right. So here we got the bottom of the box, right side of the box, top of the box, left side of the box. And then proceeding onto the back of the box. So same deals from the box, but this time you have the Engine Models social medias. And yes, you got the officially Boeing licensed product once again. And we got the item number for this model, which is 58127. And we got the warning labels right there as well. So that's it for this model. That's it for this box, and now I'll just proceed on to the model itself. And proceeding on to the model itself, and this model just looks like the exact same first release by NG, but this has a different registration and it's a re-release. So really great effort by NG. Just love this model. So now let's proceed on to the model itself. So the first eye-striking thing about this model is the gray livery on this model. So the gray color is perfect on this model. Really great shade, and the shade is a light gray, which is perfectly realistic. So that is really great to see from NG. And I just want to mention that before we start off our in-depth analysis. So still on the front portion of the model, so same exact nose shape as the previous two 747s we have reviewed. But here we have the nose cone once again, cockpit windows, pitot tubes, and then you got the nose gear door right there, and the nose gear right there. Then on the bottom, we got an antenna right there in the red line. We got the L1 door right there. We got the One World logo on the right side of the door. Then we got the beautiful American tiles, which are perfect. I really like the black shade of the American tiles, and the font's pretty good as well. And then we got the emergency escape doors right there. Then we got the emergency escape pass on the wing. Then we got our standard American 747 Stranger winglet. So nothing really too special with it, just a gray winglet. And yes, I do believe a lot of these American 747s will soon be getting the winglet logos on the wings. So yes, we'll have to see. There's no confirmation if all the American 747s will receive the winglet logos. We just don't really know. We've just seen so far American is paying them on the select 747s. So for whatever reason, they thought that was a good idea. But yes, I do like the winglet logos, as long as they're aligned and they actually, as long as they're aligned. And then on the bottom of the 747, we got the engine. I should say the bottom of the wing. Sorry, we got the CFM56 engines. These are looking great. Really great details right there, including the engine nozzle. Then proceeding on to the back portion of the model, so we got our Wi-Fi box, we got an antenna, and we got the beautiful American tail. So that's looking perfect. Really good gradient on it and good texture to it. So we got the L2 door right there, and then we got the registration, which is number 93, November. And you got the United States flag right there. And yes, I'm going to get some shots of the left side of this model. We'll be proceeding onto the bottom portion of this model. The back portion of this model, sorry. So proceeding onto the back portion of the model, so we got the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers. These look perfect. And we got the APU exhaust as well in the blended wings, and the blended wings look good as well, and the wings are looking good as well. And really no wing flex on this model, which is perfectly acceptable and a really great effort by NG models. Moving on to the front portion of this model, so here we got the cockpit windows, which are looking great. A little bit slanted to the left, but other than that, they're looking great. We have the inside the CFM56 engines, which look perfect. Really great effort by NG. Lots of detailing there. And you got the landing lights right there, which look perfect as well. All right, so proceeding on to the top portion of this model. So here we got the top portion of this model. So we got an antenna right there. We got an overview view of the wings right there, which are looking great. Then you got the emergency escape pass right there. We got a Wi-Fi box there, antenna, and we got the top view of the tail right here. Alrighty, so moving on to the right side of this beautiful model. So here we got the R1 door right here. We got a bag tools right there. We got an antenna right there. And then we got another backfold right here below the registration, and we got the R2 door. So we get some final shots of this model, then we're proceeding on to the conclusion and scoring for this model. And alright, so that does conclude the review portion for this model. So this model with the JT score did score a 100% or a 100 out of 100 or an A+. So, and no points were removed for QC as well. So this model did really well. A great model by NG. Highly recommend to purchase it if you're looking for a regular American 747, which I know many people are looking for. And a lot of people have been looking forward to this release. Can't wait to use this model over at Jacksonville and at Norfolk. This is going to be a great asset. And yeah, one quick thing I do want to know though with this model, the nose landing gear is slightly tall. I did still give it a good score, but yeah, it's just a little tall. That's all I can really say. But other than that, this model is perfect. So yes, and maybe this model was made in 2019 along with the other American 747. Who knows? So yeah, who knows? All right, so that's it for this model. Now let's proceed on to our next one. All right, so moving on to our next model, which is the Models LAN Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. So yeah, so we'll start with the box of this model. So here is the box of this model. So in case you're wondering why I purchased this model, I purchased this model to have another South American aircraft. I really wanted a Tom 787-9, and I figured, why not get the LAN livery? It's a really beautiful livery, so really cool to have this airline. So yeah, so the LAN needs to be an airline, and then it was merged with, I believe, Tom Airlines, and they created LATAM Airlines, so that's kind of where the name comes from. So yes, and some LATAM 787s are still using this livery, so that's why I purchased this model, just to have this livery. I really like this livery, so that's why I purchased it. I really want to have a South American aircraft, another South American aircraft. That's not a special livery, just a regular livery. So yes. So anyway, so start with the box of this model. So we got on the top left, we got the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner titles. In the center of the box, we got the computer images of this aircraft, and we got the stars of the LAN livery right here, looking great. Then proceeding onto the bottom of the box, so we got the LAN logo right there, and we got the registration, which is Charlie Bravo Golf Indigo, and we got the officially been licensed product logo on the bottom left, and you got the NG Models logo on the bottom right. So proceeding on to the bottom of the box, here we got the bottom of the box with the I number, which is 55091. Right side of the box, top of the box, and then you got the left side of the box right here. And yes, all of NG 787 boxes do have styrofoam in there to protect the models. So it's a really great touch by NG. Yeah, most of the time it protects models from damage, but there's still sometimes when the models still arrive broken. But at least it protects the models a little bit better. So on the top left, we got the NG Models logo right there, computer image, and then you got NG Models social medias on the bottom left with the I number and the barcode and the warning label. So that's it for this box. Now let's proceed on to the beautiful model itself. All right, so proceeding on to the model itself. What a beautiful engine model here. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. And livery is perfect, and the mold's great as well. One of the best 77 molds in the 140 market. So now let's proceed on to the model itself. So yeah, so start with the front portion of the model. We got the cockpit windows right there, looking great. Nose shape's great as well. We got our P2s right there, L1 door, and then you got the nose landing gear right there, looking great. Landing gears on all these models roll well. I forgot to mention that in the previous models, but they do roll well, so that's perfect to see. And yeah, so here at the One World logo, so LAN and LATAM are no longer in the One World Alliance, and now they have a close partnership with Delta Airlines. So that's pretty interesting how NG decided to put the One World logo on here, but pretty interesting move nonetheless. You got our antenna on the top right there, L2 door, and then you got the wing right here looking great. Really good wing flex on this. Yeah, the wing shape is perfect, so we got some navigational lights. Then we got the Rolls-Royce engines right here looking great as well. Really good detailing there from NG. L3 door right there, L4 door right there. And then we got the beautiful LAN tail with the beautiful star right there looking great. And this model is from Chile, so pretty interesting there as well. So my first Chilean model, yeah, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so here we have the Dreamliner logo right there looking great. The Boeing 787-9 titles. So you got the so we got the L4 door right here, and we have registration and the baggage holds. So that's not the baggage hold, some sort of door right there. Sorry about that. So, and yeah. So I'm going to some final shots of the left side of this model. We're going to proceed onto the right side and the back portion of this model. So, yeah. Alright, so moving on to the back portion of this model. So here we got the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers. These look perfect. Alright, so proceeding on to the front portion of this model. What a great shot here. Just beautiful. So Here we got the front portion of the cockpit wings looking great here. Nothing's misaligned or anything, so that's a really great effort by NG. And then we got the inside of the Rolls-Royce engines. These are looking perfect, so yes, really great details there. And then you got the landing lights right there, so front portion of this model is looking fun, amazing. This is a really great NG model. Definitely one of my favorite NG models from this year. Alright, so moving on to the top portion of this model. So we got the top of this model right here. We got an antenna right here. Then we got the overview of the wings right here looking great. And you got the registration on the wings as well. Looking great there. Sorry about that being upside down. Then you got a Wi-Fi box right there. And you got two antennas on the back of this model. And then you got the top portion of the tail. Really wish NG would include some beacon lights on this model because their competition does, but this model's still great nonetheless. Alright, so moving on to the right side of this model. So starting off with the front portion of the right side of this aircraft. So we got the R1 and R2 door. We got a bag hold right there. And then we got our R3 and R4 door. And we got another bag hold right there. So I'm going to give some final shots of this model. Then I'll be scoring this model and I'll be giving you my concluding thoughts about this model. And alright, so that is it for this model. So this model is a really great engine model. I recommend to get this model if you really want a South American model that's pretty unique 787, because this is one of the few 787s flying out there that's already in the retro livery. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, yeah. So the scoring for this model did receive a 99 out of 100%. Reason why I did remove a point for this model is because the landing gears do not tilt in this model, and there's no beacon lights or really detailed aerials like Aviation400, but this is still a great 787 model out there. I highly recommend to purchase it. This model, if you really want a unique 787, and you really kill this model, Ingel's really kill this model. So that's it for all the engine models in this unboxing. Now let's proceed on to the final model in this video. And alright, so moving on to the final model in this video, which is the Aviation400 Lufthansa Boeing 787-9. So I've been really excited to get this model ever since Aviation400 announced it way back in May, so took the model to release it, but it's such a beautiful Aviation400 model. So before we start off with the box of this model, Aviation400 is kind enough to include a stand with this model. So that's a really great effort from Aviation400, and yes, I like to have an extra stand in my collection. So yes. So I've been waiting for this model for a long time. West Coast Skycast just got this model in. I decided to include it in my NG order just because I really want to have this model. So yeah, so let's just start with the box model. So the box model represents the Lufthansa new livery perfectly. It has that metallic gray shade like the Gemini NG boxes. So really cool that Aviation400 include that. So on top of it, we have the Lufthansa logo. We got our warning labels right there. Haven't bought an Aviation400 model in quite a while, so grateful to have another one. They are now on Instagram, which is pretty exciting. Do follow them on Instagram, which I highly recommend to follow them. But really cool that they're on social media now. You really hope to see a lot of models from Aviation400, like some AV400, A320s, which should be made soon. So cannot wait to get those models. So sorry about my voice dying. Sorry about my voice dying off there. Sorry about that. Bottom left of the box, we get the Boeing 787-9 titles, Lufthansa logo. We got the 1/4 scale die-class model aircraft, and then registration Delta Alpha Bravo Papa Alpha. Then you got the I number right there, which is WB4017. And yeah, so proceeding on to the bottom box. Nothing really too special here. Just a computer image of the aircraft right there. We got the right side of the box with some specifications for this aircraft right here. Looking great there. So here we got top of the box. And we got the left side of the box. Realistic die-cast collectible model. Authentic liveries. Highly detailed. Excellent quality. Sounds like something Gemini would say. And shockingly, there's no Gemini models in this box unboxing. So, I'll be receiving a Gemini model soon. Or maybe a few Gemini models soon. We'll have to see. So in the back of the box, we just got the Lufthansa logo and the Boeing label. So really nothing too special on the back of the box. Kind of basic. So that's it for the box model. Now let's proceed on to the model itself. And oh boy, moving on to the model itself. What a flat out amazing model. One slight issue, but other than that, what an amazing model. Just look at it. All the detail on this model. Now let's dive in. So the reason why I purchased this model is mainly just because I really want to know Lufthansa model. And Lufthansa has just received their 787s, which will be flying with them for a pretty long time. So I had to get this model. So I chose this version over the NG version and over the Gemini version. I really wanted to try out Aviation400's new 787 mold. The NG version had it. The Lufthansa tiles were incorrect on that, and the Gemini version, you're kind of buying from Gemini, and that model is not as good as the Aviation400 version, so that's why I went with this model. So yeah, so starting off with the front portion of this model, so here we got the nose cone right there, Lufthansa logo, we got the cockpit windows. This is the part of the model I'm not really too big of a fan of. The cockpit windows are a little too slanted up and a little bit too stretched out. So yes, they go beyond the Lufthansa logo too much. I did look at some real life pictures and pretty unfortunate. Aviation400, you really got to improve your cockpit windows. They just don't look right. But other than that, the front portion of the model is looking good. Here we got the nose landing gear and here we got the nose landing gear and the nose landing gear door. Those are looking perfect. The landing gears do roll and spot and they tilt unlike the NG mold. We got the Star Alliance logo right there. We got the L1 door right there. Boeing 77-9 tiles. This aircraft is named Berlin. Lufthansa logo right there, which is perfect. The Lufthansa delivery on small is perfect. Very vibrant and reflective, and it has great textures on it as well. L2 door right there. We got our beacon light up there. This beautiful. See, I love the beacon lights the Aviation400 includes on their models. Really great. We got antenna right there. We got a Wi-Fi box up there. And then we got our L3 door and our L4 door on the back. So we got a little Wi-Fi box right there. Really great to see that as well. And then we got our red antenna on the bottom of this aircraft. And then we got our two antennas right there. And then we got the Lufthansa tail. And with the registration, which is Delta Alpha Papa Bravo Alpha. We got the German flag and the European Union flag. We got a door right there. And yeah, and you got the tail right there. Really great shaded blue there. And yeah, and you got the Lufthansa logo right there. Then we got the wing in this model, which is looking great as well. Really good wing flex to it as well. And we got the engines right here. I believe these are the GE engines right here. I'm not too sure of it, but I believe they're the GE engines. Then you got the nozzle of the engines right there as well. And yes, you got the little reflective rim of the engines right there. That's also looking perfect. So I'm gonna get some final shots of the left side of this aircraft, and we're proceeding onto the back side of this model. What a beautiful model here! It's definitely one of my favorite models from this year as well. Aviation400 really just knocks it out of the park with their models. Their models are definitely better in quality than NG models. It's not even a comparison, really. Alright, so moving on to the back side of this aircraft. So here are the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers and the AP exhaust. All this is looking perfect and really well detailed. That is just one word to say with this model. This is detailed. This model is just really well detailed. Alright, so moving on to the front portion of this model. This is not where I'm the biggest. This is the portion of the model I'm not the really biggest fan of. The cockpit windows just look interesting. They're a little dark. They're just interesting. And then they're just pointed up a little bit too much. Not really too good. You have the inside of the engines, which I believe do spin if you blow wind into them, which is pretty cool. And then you got the landing lights right there. And then you got the wings as well, which are also looking perfect. So you got the raked winglets right there. So this model is, the front of this model is still pretty good, but it's just that nose air is not looking too hot. All right, so moving on to the top side of this model. So here we got the top portion of the nose. We got our beacon light right there. We got antenna. We got a Wi-Fi box. We got the top view of the wings right here. We got some little black circles right here. Not too sure what part of the aircraft this is. So if anybody knows what the black circles are on the 787, please leave a comment below. Yes, I'm a model airplane reviewer and still doesn't know. It still doesn't know what those black circles are. So sorry about that. Yes, but hopefully in the future I'll know what these black circles are once I become a commercial aircraft pilot. So that's going to be really exciting. But yeah, so you got a little Wi-Fi box there, and you got two antennas right there in the top of the tail. All right, so moving on to the right side of this model, so the same build side of our RV, but this time it has the R1 door. We got the back shoulder right there, R2 door, R3 door, R4 door. Then you got another back hold. So I'm gonna get some final shots of this flat out beautiful model, and I'll be concluding the review for this model, and I'll be giving this model a JT score. And alright folks, so that does conclude this review for this model. So yes, and so drum roll please. This model has received a 100 out of 108 plus a 100%. This model is perfect, but this model I did remove 2 points off for the nose just because the nose shape needs to be improved a little bit more. But I've added 2 points just because of the extra aerials on this model and how Aviation400 knocked it out of the park with adding the extra antennas and beacon lights. It just really adds more detail to the model. It makes the model seem way more realistic, and it's just more aesthetically pleasing to look at. So yeah, so this model is a really beautiful model. I cannot wait to feature this model over at my next Jacksonville Fictional Airports update. So that is it for all the models in this fast unboxing. Now let's proceed on to the conclusion of this video. And alright folks, that is it for this massive unboxing. So yeah, so I'd like to thank you all so much for watching Massive Unboxing 6. So Yeah, so today's mass unboxing was a success in my opinion, just because we had really good QC with this whole batch of models, and we got some really amazing models. This was a smaller unboxing, but there's still lots of amazing models, especially the Southwest. They turned out really well, and even the 787s and the American 747 turned out really well. So yes, lots of great models in here, and so if you're interested in these models, once again, I highly recommend using my code JTPOD for 5% off your order over at West Coast Diecast. So so I'd like to thank them for supplying me with these models, and making the adequate order adjustments so I can get all these models on time before Christmas. So I want to provide you guys a brief channel update. So I got some good news and bad news. So the airport series that's supposed to come out this week, I have canceled. So this new airport series in Canada has been, the new Canadian series has been canceled. I did a mock airport update, and it just really didn't turn out well as I was anticipating. It's just not, the airport update wasn't unique enough, and it just wasn't really too good enough for me. I don't really have the adequate Canadian models to do a proper Canadian airport. So that airport series has been canceled, but the good news is I'll be making Jacksonville slightly more detailed. So my plan in 2023 is to make Jacksonville a lot more detailed, and I'll explain more of that in the next Jacksonville airport day, but I really want to focus on Jacksonville more, because I know a lot of you really enjoyed that airport series. So yes, instead of just having a bunch of random airport dates that aren't they're still good quality, but they're not really, amazing, So I just want to make 2020, in 2023, I just want to have a better portfolio of airport dates on my YouTube channel, so just stay tuned. And yes, I want to collect some slightly different models and collect a little bit less models, because I have a lot of models. With these new models, I have 196 diecast models, which is crazy insane to say. So, yes. Anyways, the next thing is we should be having our NG Boeing 747 Max mold wish list video coming up soon. Yes, NG has announced a 747 Max mold. They'll be making the Max 8 Max 9. I'm extremely excited. I'm really excited for it. They announced it yesterday on the day I'm recording this video, so cannot wait to get my first NG Max. Hopefully they do the Southwest Retro Maxes first, because they are definitely going to be staples in my collection. I will buy every single Southwest Max release from NG, and about any Max release that flies over, any Max model that flies over to North America, or I should say the United States. I definitely buy any Max release that flies the United States, and I'm going to replace all my Gemini versions. They're just not really too good, so cannot wait to have the NG version. Cannot wait. So yes, and our next Jacksonville Fictional Airport will be coming up soon, and we'll be having a Christmas video coming up soon as well. Yes, it'll be a few days after Christmas, but it will be a special video, so just stay tuned. So, yeah. So that is it for this mouse unboxing. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video, and have a wonderful day, and have a wonderful week. Bye.